Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is coming into contact with this very important line of resistance. We are also forming a brand new price pattern here that I'll be talking about in just a moment as the Bitcoin short positions are continuing to explode to the upside. I will be covering all of that and more in this video, so definitely stick around to the end so that you don't miss out on any of this important information. And just before you jump into it, you might as well leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. It's right here on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see we've got this same descending line of resistance here that we were talking about in yesterday's Bitcoin update video. And right now, this line of resistance is coming in at just above 43,000, more specifically at around 43.2k. And so obviously, while the Bitcoin price is remaining underneath that line of resistance, we are still forming lower highs here, which is technically bearish for Bitcoin in the shorter term, at least while we're below that line of resistance. If we can see a breakout here, obviously that would be a bullish signal, and especially if we can start breaking above some of these previous highs, for example this one just here at around 44.5k, then that would be even more bullish because obviously we'd be forming higher highs, and that's exactly what we need to see in a new uptrend. And speaking about a possible uptrend, if we break above this line of resistance, this right here can also be seen as a bump and run reversal pattern. We've got the lead-in phase right here, the bump phase, and all we need to see is the run back to the upside, which of course comes after we see a confirmed break above this line, which we haven't seen just yet. And for any beginners out there, what I mean by a confirmed break above the line is we really need to see a spike or surge in volume, because right now volume is declining, especially while we're in a weekend. So usually in the new week going into Monday and Tuesday, we should see the volume pick up again. And that is what we would need to see if we are to break above this line of resistance. And also if we see a retest of that line, flipping it into new support, that can confirm a breakout to the upside as well. And so the technical price target for this bump and run reversal pattern is the beginning of the lead-in phase, which is coming in at just above 48,000 US dollars. And of course, that only comes into play if we see a confirmed break above this point of resistance, which is just above 43,000. On top of that, we also have a cup and handle pattern forming for Bitcoin right now on the 4-hour time frame. And this is a bullish pattern for Bitcoin, but it only confirms if once again we see a break above this descending line of resistance. We can also view the cup and handle pattern like this, with this horizontal line that we need to break above, essentially this previous high back here, which is coming in at just above 44,000. And if that happens, the technical price target for this cup and handle pattern is coming in at just above 48,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, which is very close to the technical price target for this bump and run reversal pattern. So if you're wanting to know some important points of resistance, those are the levels that I'm paying attention to, once again at around 43 to 44,000 initially, and then after we can see a confirmed break above around 44,000, then we can start targeting towards 48,000. And of course, this bullish divergence here on the 12-hour time frame for Bitcoin could potentially help the price of Bitcoin get up towards those higher price targets, because for any beginners out there, a bullish divergence just means that we're due to see reduced selling pressure, which can either come in the form of sideways price action or a slight move back to the upside. Now, something that is holding down the price of Bitcoin is these short positions continuing to open. Anytime you open a short position on Bitcoin, it immediately applies selling pressure, and then when you close a short position, that applies buying pressure to the Bitcoin price. And so what we have here is the Bitcoin short positions over on the Bitfinex exchange on the 4-hour time frame. So as these are increasing, that means that there's still this extra selling pressure on the Bitcoin price, at least for now. But then eventually, when these short positions end up closing, we'll see that selling pressure turn into buying pressure. And so as we are seeing more and more Bitcoin short positions getting opened up right now, that is building up for an even bigger short squeeze. And in contrast, these are the Bitcoin long positions on the same exchange and the same time frame. And you can clearly see that right now, a lot of people are getting out of long positions. And for any of the beginners out there, a Bitcoin long position has the opposite effect to a short position. So basically, if we're seeing the long positions close, that is adding a selling pressure on the Bitcoin price as well. But then eventually, if these long positions open back up again, that will provide a buying pressure to the Bitcoin price. And this chart right here shows us the amount of leverage traders are using relative to the amount of Bitcoin they're keeping on exchanges. So this is known as the Bitcoin estimated leverage ratio, which is represented by the purple line right here. And you can clearly see that right now, the estimated leverage ratio is at record highs, meaning that a lot of traders are taking on some bigger risks at the moment. And this estimated leverage ratio has really been increasing over the past few weeks or so. And what type of positions have primarily been opened over the past few weeks? That is right, Bitcoin short positions. We can also see that a lot of traders are wanting to enter short positions by looking at the funding rates across all of these exchanges. And right now we're seeing a lot of negative funding rates. So as I just said, this means that a lot of traders are wanting to enter Bitcoin shorts positions, which puts us in a very similar situation to what we saw back in July last year. And even if you're looking at the estimated leverage ratio, ratio, and the price action back then, that was very similar to what we're seeing right now, with the price action moving to the downside, both cases here, and the estimated leverage ratio moving to the upside, both cases here. So over the past 2 weeks approximately, I've been letting you know that this potential short squeeze is building up, and I've been saying over the past 2 weeks that this could possibly play out in the second half of January or early February. But it's important to mention that nothing in these markets is guaranteed. So just because we're seeing these on the charts, it doesn't actually guarantee a short squeeze is definitely going to happen. But with that being said, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is still sitting in extreme fear, as it has been doing quite a lot recently, which historically means we are in a buying opportunity. Once again, not financial advice. I'm just telling you what this indicator means for Bitcoin longer term. And you can see here, over 3 years worth of price action, all of the best buying opportunities came at a time where the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index was sitting in extreme fear, which is represented by these darker red dots just here. And then some of the best opportunities to take some Bitcoin profits off the table were the times where the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index was sitting in extreme greed, which is represented by the lighter green dots just here. So my personal Bitcoin strategy has still not changed over the past few weeks. It is simply to continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and hold for the longer term. And possibly if Bitcoin breaks above these points of resistance that I mentioned earlier in the video, then in that case, I might look to accumulate a low leverage swing trade long position to catch the next trend reversal, because also on the Bitcoin to US dollar chart on the daily time frame, we have seen a successful bounce from the golden pocket, which if you're using the logarithmic settings, this golden pocket is coming in at around 40,000, and the bottom of the golden pocket is coming in at around 39.5k, which is where Bitcoin bottomed out at during September. And for anyone new to the channel, the reason why the golden pocket is so important is because we commonly see the price turn around at that level. We normally see trend reversals after we come into contact with the golden pocket. And staying on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we are still technically playing out this massive fractal, which I won't go too deep into detail about this pattern today, just because I've done that in a lot of recent Bitcoin update videos here on the channel. But without me explaining this fractal, I'm sure you can see a lot of similarities between the current price action and what we saw back in July 2021. And one really bullish signal that I am paying attention to for Bitcoin here on the daily time frame is looking in the daily RSI for a break above this descending line of resistance, which is coming in at around 42 approximately. And so if that happens, if we can start to see a trend reversal in the daily RSI as what we saw at the end of July leading into August, that is a very bullish signal. And back then, that basically confirmed the recovery back to the upside. And of course, I'll keep you updated here on the channel in these videos when that eventually happens. And also, if you want to receive real-time updates, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter for extra content throughout the day. And the link to my official Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. If you made it this far in the video, you might as well leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important updates that I post every single day. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you here on the channel. I can't thank you enough. And before you click off, you might as well check out one of these uploads if you haven't already. But that is everything that I have to say for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.